April messages for Earth signs, starting with the Cardinals of Capricorn. Alright, what are some messages for Capricorn for the beginning of April of this month? What are some important messages for Capricorn? See this one sticking out. 3 of Wands. We're planning something. And then the 2 of Pentacles. Yeah, Capricorn, it seems like you're preparing to do something. You're still planning. And you're trying to really think things through. Like, you're trying to prioritize which move you want to make. So it's like, right now you're not going to do anything just yet, but you're still trying to figure out what's important here. Tell me more. 8 of Cups. Ooh. 9 of Wands. 4 of Cups. Ooh. Yeah, I'll just read them. Whatever. Page of Swords. The Empress in reverse. 6 of Pentacles, and then the Ace of Wands. And there's one more card that's sticking out here. Oh, there's 2 actually. I'm gonna move this down here. Can you guys see it? Okay. Okay. So we got the 8 of Cups, 9 of Wands, 4 of Cups upright, Page of Swords with the Empress in reverse, then the 6 of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, 8 of Wands in reverse, and then the 3 of Cups in reverse. Okay, so it seems like Capricorn, you've been deciding a lot about whether or not you want to act on a certain change that might either free you from something or just switch up your world. There is a lot of like energy here. Like you have a lot of drive. You want to like kind of like go into motion about something, but you haven't really done so just yet. Hold on, I think the music's a little loud. Give me a second. Having a hard time like focusing. Okay. So it seems like you're very energetic in making a decision, but you're also kind of worried about like whether this is the right choice. Like you don't necessarily want to turn your back on something just to come back, you know? So like you're really taking time before acting, even though like you have the energy and the ambition to make a decision and act on it. Like you're fighting your impulse here. So you're taking a lot of time to really think things through with that 4 of Cups. It seems like right now you're kind of like withdrawn and just meditating over like whether or not you want to go through with this, but it's also like something is going to come to your thought while you're trying to think things through, and as soon as you do, you're gonna like definitely go out there and have a conversation with certain people about these changes that you want to make with that Page of Swords. Like you're definitely taking charge here, but you're just taking a little extra time to think before you do something. I think an idea is going to come through here during this time of reflection. And then from there, you're just going to make moves and start moving that cycle. I also see with the Empress in reverse that you might be addressed to someone here that seems very dependent and kind of like, you know, not really like inspired just as much as you are in making changes. It looks like this is involving you making a decision and like talking to someone that isn't really like at the same pace as you. They seem kind of very dependent and lazy. Maybe like you want to make changes and this person isn't, and that's why like you're kind of like hesitant to like speak up. But you want to do what's fair here with this 6 of Pentacles. I don't know if you're in a position of power or you're addressing someone with a position of power. But either way, you are going to probably bring up a new project idea in the workplace. You just want to be fair here. But like with this Ace of Wands here, I do see like there is a new beginning here. You feel very like, you know, energized. If this is like a love reading for some of you, Capricorn, it just seems like you just don't really know yet if you want to make a move and how you want to make that move. But there's going to be a point where you're just going to be like, F it, I'm going to just do it. And this person seems very chill. Like, I don't think you also expect this person to do anything. You know, like, you're the one that's going to have to get the ball rolling if you want anything to happen. But you want to be fair about it too. Because, like, you know, this could be a project, but this also could be a love reading. Because with this Ace of Wands, it's very much suggestive. And I do see, like, you know, in terms of romance, like, this is going to be a lot of, like, you know, mutual attractions here. Maybe beyond, you know, surface level. But just know that there will be some delays if there's any miscommunication that does occur. So just be careful about that. I know this is going to probably, like, be very frustrating to hear. But if not done properly, this could be setting you back a bit. And you might actually feel a bit rejected in that case when things are delayed and not really like right away. What are some hidden factors? Hold on, that doesn't count. What are some hidden factors here? Okay, we have the Eight of Cups again. See, this one's sticking out. Okay, Two of Cups. Chariot. Seven of Cups, Lovers. Okay. Anywhere else? Okay. So Capricorn, I see that you might be walking away from a possible situation here, or the other person might be also walking away from a situation. This is coming more in the direction of romance. So in terms of hidden factors, I see like this person is kind of like leaving a past relationship, right? They are mutually attracted to you, however, with this Two of Cups. It's kind of like they're walking away like a past relationship and like moving towards this connection. Even though that they don't really appear that way, with that Empress in reverse, they do show like mutual like interest and might be waiting for you to make a move. Especially with that Chariot card and then the Seven of Cups. It seems like they're moving towards something that they have been eyeing on but haven't really done anything just yet. Like whenever I see this card with the Seven of Cups, it's like window shopping, looking at things that you want but you don't necessarily can obtain in the present time. So I do see like they have this idea of what they want in a relationship. They are leaving a like current relationship, but they're also kind of like running towards something that they've been eyeing on for a while that they haven't really necessarily gotten. And this is like, of course, with the, you know, with the Lovers card following through and the Queen of Cups, you know, I do see that they are very compassionate and they're very nurturing and they're looking into being in a relationship that is like that. Whether that you're the provider of that kind of compassion or if they are that person, this is the kind of relationship they want. You know, they're running towards a relationship that's very giving to them and really like compassionate and warm. Like they're about it. Any more hidden factors here? Yeah. Hidden factors here. Okay, so I think also the cards are warning you to not follow any type of like bad advice in regards to possible like emotional manipulation. Um, like I feel like somebody here is plotting against you to like not work out with this person. With that Ace of Pentacles in reverse followed by the King of Cups, I do see someone who might be planning to give you like really bad advice about the situation so you can lose this opportunity. So just be mindful of like any possible haters that might impact this with you, Capricorn. What's some advice? What's some advice that we can give Capricorn? I see some cards sticking out. We got the Ten of Wands upright. Oh, shoot. The Empress upright. Judgment upright. I don't know why these keep coming out. Alright, fine. We'll read these cards that want to show themselves. Okay. So Capricorn, I'm going to read the cards that are upright with their little descriptions, and in case it resonates with you better, since this is advice. So the first card that came out was the Ten of Wands, right? Ten of Wands, you've worked hard to accomplish your goals. For now, you must deal with the burden of success. You find that in order to stay on top, you must maintain the responsibilities you've created and keep working. You may even need to let go of some of those responsibilities to avoid burden. So keywords here is achievement, responsibilities, and burden. Okay, pretty fair. And then we got the Empress card, right? Empress upright means you are in a period of growth in which all you have dreamed of is now coming to fruition. The Empress is traditionally associated with material influence. It is the card if you are hoping to start a family. She can represent the creation of life, romance, art, or a new business. And then like just upright keywords is like difficulty, doubt, ignorance, and femininity. And then we got the Judgment card up right here. So the Judgment card says the Judgment often indicates that you need to make a life-changing decision. But unlike those associated with the Logical Justice card, this decision requires a blend of intuition and intellect. You are experiencing a spiritual awakening and realizing that you are destined for so much more. You hear the call and are ready to act. Judgment, change of position, or outcome. And then we got the Hangman upright. So the Hangman, it depicts a habitual, effeminate, a shameful image of a traitor being punished in a manner common at the time for traitors in Italy. Basically, it's a guy that's like being hung upside down for being in trouble. He is hanging upside down, viewing the world from a a completely different perspective, and his facial expression is calm and serene, suggesting that he is hanging on by his own choice. So, and also keywords of retrospect here is just like self-sacrifice, new perspective, and suspension. And then you got the Knight of Cups, which is the ever-charming Knight of Cups is a man in touch with his intuition and with his heart rather than to lead him through life. Wait, hold on, I'm sorry, what? The ever-charming Knight of Cups is a man in touch with his intuition and uses his heart rather than his head to guide him through life. Sorry. He is also a man of adventure. Now is the time to start exploring and putting your dreams and passion to action. So some keywords here is romance, adventure, charm, intuition, right? So with these cards upright, now I'm going to interpret the message here with the other cards that are in reverse, right? So we have also the Page of Cups, and then we got the King of Pentacles. So I do see here that I think this is a romance reading in a sense where, and it could be depicted in how it resonates, if it resonates with any of you guys watching this at whatever time you watch this video. I do sense here that there is a responsibility here that you're achieving, right? But there's someone else in the picture. This could be a feminine energy, like maybe this is like, maybe you're a guy, a Capricorn guy, and you're looking at this girl that has a lot of like, you know, potential behind them. And like you're trying to really like, you know, caution with discernment, you could say. You're really focusing in and really escaping everything else with that Page of Cups in reverse. And really like looking at things in a different perspective. I do sense here that without really like much context, I feel like in your perspective, you're being a little stubborn and possessive with this individual. I think this is someone that you really see yourself ending up with, like endgame. And like this is the one you want to marry, this is the one you want to have kids with. and you haven't really made that move just yet. So you get territorial whenever someone is getting involved with them, but you really see yourself really happy with this person, but you're still kind of like, you haven't made that move just yet based on the reading and all that's coming up here. And with that Knight of Cups, I do see like there's a lot of romance and charm in this. Like you give a lot of charm whenever you do make a move. And like in the hidden factors earlier, the person really wants a romance that is very like compassionate, and you do have those qualities, but you haven't made that move just yet. I think that like you've been holding back a bit too, because you're like worried that like maybe you're being a little too delulu right now. But this is something that you genuinely feel, and I think the other person feels the same way too. There's a lot of pessimism with that Star in Reverse card coming out too. Like you might be thinking, oh, maybe she doesn't like me, and you know, maybe it's all in my head, but like I don't see that happening here for you, Capricorn. And with the Wheel of Fortune card coming out in reverse, this is something that has been happening with you often. I don't know if with this person in particular, or just this cycle of with like seeing someone you like, but then not really like making that move. You kind of like weigh out your options first before actually doing something about it. And I think like this is gonna keep happening with you until you actually break that cycle and go for it. I do see like maybe like this is someone that you have like a karmic tie to. Maybe like you guys met in a past life and you're meeting again in this life, if you believe in that. But this is meant to happen in a way, like you guys are meant to meet each other at some point, and it's gonna keep repeating itself over and over until like you make that change, whether it's a situation with this person or just overall this type of like pattern. Like this is meant to happen. It's part of your destiny. And that is for you, Capricorn. I hope that resonates with some of you guys. And for those that have resonated with this, I hope it gives you a lot of help going forward. Do Taurus now. So what are some messages for Taurus for the beginning of April? We got our Happles here, who is also a Taurus. So messages for Taurus. What are some important messages for Taurus? It could be anything. What are some important messages for Taurus for the beginning of April? Ace of Pentacles. Okay, there's an opportunity that's being manifested here. Can I get another card or two for Taurus, please? Knight of Wands. Huh. Interesting. Okay, Taurus. So I see an opportunity coming in here, but it's coming at a time where you're least expecting it. You might be rushing off somewhere and you're not really paying attention, but there's going to be like an opportunity that will manifest in front of you. So just be careful of that. I know like sometimes when you're like busy and distracted, you don't really like, you're distracted, right? But there's an opportunity that's going to present itself in front of you that's very important here. Can you tell me more? Ooh, okay. Oh, okay. Ace of Wands, nice. Before I say anything, let's see what other cards come out. Okay. Okay, no, I see this one sticking out. Okay, interesting. I'm getting romance. I'm getting romance so far. Okay. Any more cards? Any more cards want to come out? No? Okay. Taurus. We got the Ace of Wands, and then we got the Two of Swords coming out. And then we have followed by the Seven of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles. And then in reverse, we have the Ten of Pentacles, the Strength in reverse, followed by the Five of Swords in reverse. So, I think that there's going to be someone that might be... Like, I have to watch my words because we're on TikTok. I see someone who is showing a lot of interest beyond, like, surface level. Like, I think this person is drawn to you, is very physically attracted to you, and you're aware of it. And it's giving you confused feelings. Like, you don't know if you want to, like, get involved with this. Like, you're not really sure And this could be at the workplace, this could be anywhere. I'm sensing like you're kind of busy in your own world doing your own thing, and you're not really aware that someone is like physically attracted to you. And when they start making like passes at you, you get confused. You're not sure if it's all in your head or if you were alright on the money with this. But like that's what I'm getting with these two cards. It's also like whether or not you want to like indulge with this or not. Yeah, because it's like in the beginning it's talking about an opportunity, but you're distracted. Maybe you're being distracted with an opportunity that involves someone else trying to like offer themselves to you, and you're not sure if you want to go for it or not. Like, take it how it resonates. It's either or, you know? But like with the Seven of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles, it's showing me like you want to be fair. Like, you might be involved with someone else, and it's something that you've been like watching over for some time. Like, maybe like you plant some seeds in a situation and you're trying to see how it grows and how it's like, if you can harvest anything from that situation. So you've been very conservative and holding back. But then like there's this other situation that's coming in that's kind of like really direct and can distract you. And it's giving you confusion. Like, you're not going to say you like them, but it's not like you can dismiss them entirely either. So there's like some like, I don't really know. Like, you're kind of like, I don't know if I should or shouldn't. If, you know, there's this other situation that I'm kind of been like really like waiting on, and I've been holding myself like conservative to this situation. But you do have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse here. So it's showing me that there are some issues of security. Like, maybe you feel very insecure with this other situation that you've been like attending to. And maybe there's been problems with this situation that's gotten you very insecure. That's why you're paying mind to this situation. With that Strength card in reverse and then the Five of Swords in reverse, you want to be fair, right? But you also are very assertive, which makes sense because you're the bull. Okay, you're never really like soft with things. You're pretty like direct when you want something or not, especially if it comes to you. Like, Taurus knows what they want. But I do see that there's a lot of doubt with this Strength card in reverse. Like, you kind of like, this particular situation with the insecurities has gotten you like at a weird place where you don't really feel confident, and you know, you're kind of like iffy about that, you know? Interesting. Can I get some hidden factors? Okay. What are some hidden factors for Taurus? Okay. Yeah, this is like a love reading. You got the Knight of Swords upright, Ace of Pentacles in reverse, followed by the Lover's card upright, and then the Hierophant. Okay, okay. Before I speak on it, can I get more cards for hidden factors for Taurus? So these 4 cards are showing themselves. So... Any more cards for Taurus for hidden factors? I see one, these are sticking out. Okay. Alright, so Taurus, for your hidden factors, we have the Knight of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So... So I'm getting that like this situation might become a missed opportunity between either with this person that is into you versus this other situation that you've been nurturing. Because with the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, it's showing that there might be a chance that this might be like a missed opportunity here. And it could also just be like this overall situation with this person since it began with the Ace of Pentacles. And the reason why is because there's a lot of ambition here that you personally have that is going to be like, okay, I see that this person, like this person's perspective on you is that you're the type of person that takes action. And because like, you know, like you haven't really given them action, they're gonna just leave. That's what I'm sensing. I do see here with the Lover's card followed by the Hierophant. So the Hierophant card shows a lot of loyalty to a situation, right? Now that it's paired with the Lover's card, I do see that you're very much loyal to your current situation. That might be the one that you've been feeling insecure about. Like, despite the issues, I see that there is no way that you're gonna be like attending to this, because like if you were, you would have done something already, and you're not. You're more into like being loyal with this other situation you have going on. I do also see you've been very disappointed lately. Even though like this has been a long-term relationship where like you kind of like grew into it and there's a lot that you've like financially secured, there's a lot of like moodiness that is going on here with that Knight of Cups in reverse towards the Ten of Pentacles. It's like, yeah, we made it to this point in our lives where like we've been together for a while and like we've been saving and all this stuff, but for what? Like I'm not happy. Like I'm actually kind of like in a mood, you know? And it's just like, you know, like this is happening because there's something else that's missing. I've been very loyal to you and we've been working hard together, but I'm just kind of like in a bad mood lately. And like here comes this other opportunity. I could have acted on it, but I didn't. Like you might be in a relationship, Taurus, or not. Maybe like you've been like attending to this other person and seeing where it goes, or maybe you have been in a relationship and you've been thinking about maybe a possible affair, but you don't really, I don't really see you cheat necessarily, because it is a lost opportunity. It's just like you're more loyal to that situation you have going on, but you are upset regardless, right? And then we have the Nine of Cups with that Three of Cups in reverse. So I think what you're going to end up doing, Taurus, that you're not aware of, is that I do see that you might be going out and partying and maybe even like spending time away from like love entirely, because you want to feel satisfied. You're looking for an emotional contentment. And so like, since it's not really working with this and you don't want to deal with this other situation, I see yourself withdrawing for a bit, doing things that you enjoy and like really indulging in that, because you're trying to fill in that your cup, you know, that's kind of empty right now. With this Queen of Pentacles in reverse and the Chariot in reverse, yeah, there is definitely some self-care and some issues at home. Maybe like you feel like you're being smothered, or you might be smothering someone. Or maybe this could be the other person too. Like maybe the other person that you're upset about is actually not really spending time with you, and they've been going out doing their own thing and doing what they want, that they haven't really been paying attention to you. And because of that, like there's some level of like suffocation that's going on. Maybe someone's being a little bit more self-centered in this, whether it's you or the other person, or maybe the other person thinks that you're being self-centered and not really being fair to them when you have been thinking about being fair with them all this time. I do see the Chariot in reverse in this situation as well. So this is showing me that like there's definitely some like passive aggression that's going on here. There's like also like some lack of control, which is kind of like off-putting. Yeah, I see like whoever this individual is, whether it's you or the other person from the situation you've been loyal to, someone here hasn't really been taking care of the other person and has been more self-centered, and they have been like really self-indulging in that like egoism and not really taking care of things. They're spending a lot of money on their habits instead of like conserving it and spending time with you, or vice versa. But that's what I'm getting here, and that's because like with all these issues happening, like you couldn't help but stray when someone else was flirting with you, but you're not really acting on it. But it just makes it apparent like how unhappy you are with this situation. Let's get some advice for you, Taurus. Where's some advice for Taurus? And because like this is advice, I will be reading the cards that are upright and their little descriptions in case it helps you resonate with it more. And then I will be doing an overall interpretation of these advice. We have the King of Pentacles upright. Three of Cups in reverse. Ten of Swords in reverse. Nine of Pentacles upright. Strength card upright. Okay. Strength card came out earlier, but it was in reverse. This time it's coming up in reverse. Let's see. I mean upright. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, this one also want to come out. We got the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, Knight of Cups, Five of Cups. Okay, let's see. Drink a little water, guys. Okay, so first we have the King of Pentacles. So let me just read this for you guys. King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is a provider of wisdom, support, and financial stability who is happy to share his wealth with others. You may be on the verge of completing a major task, project, or business venture. Approach your final task with pragmatism and well thought out planning. So stability, power, and control, and success. And then the next one is this Nine of Pentacles. After working hard for a long time, you're able to reap the benefits of your labor. Nine of Pentacles signifies that you've reached a time of indulgence, opulence, comfort, and self-sufficiency. Enjoy it because you deserve it. And keywords here is comfort, luxury, and prosperity. Then we got the Strength card upright. In contrast to the physical willpower of the Chariot, the Strength is about overcoming difficulties through inner strength. Strength is about taming your inner beast to let your inner voice shine through. Your strength gives you the confidence to overcome any growing fears, challenges, or doubts. So keywords here is inner strength, balance, and power. And then we got these last two cards. Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups means that a man in touch with his intuition and uses his heart rather than his head to guide him through life. He is also a man of adventure. Now is the time to start exploring and putting your dreams and passions to action. So some keywords here is romance, adventure, charm, intuition. And then we got the Five of Pentacles. So you have recently experienced a loss or have had things not going according to plan and are experiencing the resulting grief and feelings of disappointment. You may be having trouble of letting go of the past. However, there is still hope. Two of the Cups are still upright. Fight it in yourself to forgive and learn from your past from keep moving forward. And so with that in mind, the keywords here is loss, grief, and bereavement. Okay, now let me look at all the cards all together and try to like help interpret this message of advice for you, Taurus. So King of Pentacles, Three of Cups, right? There has been a lot of control in regards to some affairs that you might be having. But I do see that you're kind of like stifled from like really letting yourself be fully out there. I think you've been holding back as well. With that Ten of Swords in reverse, I do see that you're going to get more clarity that's going to come into play. There's definitely going to be a change of pace here. Maybe there's going to be a confrontation of some sort. And you do want to enjoy yourself. I'm okay. So I'm sensing that like with all that's been happening and all this tension that's happening, Taurus, I do see you pursuing some self-care that will give you a lot more comfort. And it might be luxurious things. Like maybe you need to go to a spa and take care of yourself and let out your stress. I also see that you are getting more confident in yourself. I think like this is telling you to take some time away because you've been so stressed out with this current situation that you kind of like need some self-care. And I mean, you haven't really done anything wrong necessarily. Like you've just been, you know, kind of feeling a type of way. You had an opportunity that made itself presentable to you, but you didn't go for it. And it's like, it just pisses you off because like you could have, but you didn't. And yet you're stuck with the situation that you've been like loyal to, but it's not really making you happy. And you just wish that like you could be seen. So I think like, because you don't want to really fight, because I see a lot of control in some of these cards, it's like advising you to do something for yourself. You know, maybe you need some time for yourself and do things that you enjoy, even if it's like very lavish, you know, do that for yourself. You do feel like you try to do something, but it's like kind of like wasted efforts to an extent, or maybe like limited success. It's not like something that you're fully satisfied with. It's like mediocre level with that Seven of Pentacles in reverse. But then followed by the Ten of Pentacles also in reverse. I do sense like there is some level of like instability because you feel lonely. This could be issues with like family as well, but like, you know, there's something here that's just not really like, you know, fully like stacking up to your expectations, you know. But I do see with the Knight of Cups and the Five of Cups, like even though like you feel like you're at a loss, there's so much more like love that will be coming your way soon. I think like what's important here is trusting your intuition and just trying to focus on yourself. And I think also with these two cards and talking about these other cards earlier, I think it's also advising like you go out, take some time for yourself, go to a spa, enjoy yourself, maybe even like get your hair done, do things that make you feel confident and pretty. And if you're like, if this is like resonating with you, Taurus, on a romantic level, like the other person that has been kind of like dragging their feet is gonna be like, wow, what a knockout. Like, what am I doing? Like, let me spend some time with her, you know? Oh my god, my doorbell. I'm not gonna answer it though, because I don't care. But yeah, that's what I'm getting for you, Taurus. I hope this helps you and resonates for some of you out there who are watching this. All right, what are some messages for Virgo? For the month of April 2026, what are some messages for Virgo? What are some important messages for Virgo? What are some important messages for Virgo? For all the Virgos out there, what are the most important messages that they need to hear? Okay, see this one's sticking out. Queen of Pentacles. Okay. It's in reverse. Let me get another card before I read it. See this one's sticking out. Wheel of Fortune reverse. Okay. So Virgo, Wheel of Fortune means that this is a karmic cycle of some sort. Now, this has a lot of meanings, but most importantly, this is something that will keep repeating itself. Hold on, let me fix the puzzle. What the heck? Okay, this is a very important message for you regarding a situation where you might be dealing with something or someone that might be either nagging at you or suffocating you, but it's involving materialism, right? So yeah, it's kind of it's a bit chaotic, but it's something that keeps repeating itself. I don't know if this is like a mother figure or a feminine in your figure in your life that might be kind of like suffocating you to some extent, but it's involving materialism, and it's causing a lot of issues and chaos where you just don't really want to deal with it, but it keeps finding its way back to you and it keeps repeating itself. And it's meant to happen this way because of this card. This is a very powerful card that talks about things that are supposed to like be destiny in some sense. This might be an issue that you might also experience in a past life. It's also talking about like karmic ties. Now, what I mean by karmic ties is not like necessarily the word karma and the meaning behind that word. This is meant that like this is something that like goes around, comes around, and will keep repeating itself over and over in terms of like habits, you know? But it's mostly like more towards like something that you cannot really escape from. It's gonna keep happening over and over until you stop that karmic wheel from turning by like learning the lesson and going about it differently. So let's pull up more cards for you, Virgo. These don't want to go back in. Empress. Two of... Okay, I want to be honest with you. I'm getting Deacon energy from this card. So this in particular is talking about this might be something that has been happening already, in the past week and this week going forward, for the next like couple of more days after that. Two of Pentacles usually takes place the last week of March until like the beginning of April. So this might be something that's already been happening with you lately, presently. What else? But that's a Deacon time frame. Some cards have time placements on it, and I'm getting a vibe that this is something that's already been happening with you recently. Not like, because most of these readings are like predictions moving forward and what's to come, but I feel like with this type of reading, it's already kind of happening now. What else? Tell me more for Virgo. Eight of Cups, Page of Swords. Ace of Wands. Three of Cups. Oops. See, this one's sticking out, and this one's sticking out. Okay, I'll read these. And then we'll do hidden factors afterwards. Okay. So Virgo, you got the Empress card with that Two of Wands, and then you have the Eight of Cups followed by the Page of Swords, Ace of Wands accompanied by the Three of Cups, and then you got the Seven of Cups followed by that King of Wands in reverse. Okay, so definitely trust your intuition here, Virgo, for this next coming weeks regarding this situation that's been happening for the past couple of weeks. I don't know if you've been feeling very suffocated. It could be like you're feeling suffocated by something else that is like chaotic and like giving you issues the past like week into this week, or you could be being nagged by someone else, who knows, but take it how it resonates. But regardless of that, whatever specific it is, this particular situation that you resonate with the most has been like making you plan and look forward to making decisions and how you want to go forward ultimately with these two cards here. It's also like telling you like, listen, before you go forward making a decision, you have to really take time to trust your intuition, listen to that inner voice and your gut feeling, and you know, you're like aware of what you need to do, but like also like, you know, trust your gut while you plan your next move. There's gonna be some change that you're gonna be like making. You're gonna I sense that you might be walking away from certain things too that have been like bothering you lately. It's like you're taking action and just I do sense like some type of leaving the situation at hand, to some extent, not entirely, but like, you know, like I think you're like counting your blessings and just like letting go of certain things. But I do see with this Page of Sword that you're also kind of like just ready to like, you know, confront this thing that's been bugging you, you know? Maybe you might be confrontational with whatever is bugging you actually, and cutting ties here and just walking away. But I do see like with this card that there's like a lot of like energy here where like there's some action that's taking place and you might be making that move. With that Ace of Wands followed by the Three of Cups here, I do see like a beginning here of support. Maybe you're making some friendships here that like will help you get through these tough times. I do also see like a beginning here as well. Now I'm not sure if you're the outgoing type. If you're the outgoing type, you might come across some like opportunities while you're like hanging out with friends. Maybe someone's gonna approach you and you might like have fun with that. But if not, I see like definitely some beginnings here taking place and you celebrating with friends. But there's also this part of you that seems like with the Seven of Cups followed by this King of Wands, you have this very strong opinion about how you want things done in a certain way that aren't necessarily present. You know what I mean? Like, this is the window shopping card. Like, you look at things that you see, but you haven't really obtained yet. And with that King of Wands, it's like you're very, like, stubborn and very direct on, like, those kind of decisions you're not really letting go of. So I see that happening here. Let's pull up some, like, hidden factors for you, Virgo. Yo, Will Cole, don't be coming in here preaching, alright? I'm trying to read tarot, bro. We trying to have a good time. Anywho, what's some hidden factors here for Virgo? Here we got the Six of Wands. What else? Eight of Wands, Three of Swords. Welcome back, Ada. Queen of Pentacles in reverse with that Queen of Swords. Oh, okay, we got a lot of Queen cards coming out here. Any more hidden factors? Nope. Okay. Okay, Virgo. So I do see something happening here. With this Nine of Wands and then the Eight of Wands. So like this one's in reverse and this one's upright. I do sense some like fast movement involving a specific struggle that might occur here that you're not aware of. I also think that this situation is going to cause you a lot of stress where you're going to feel very overwhelmed and like fatigue and lack of motivation. Be careful with this. I feel like you're going to have a lot of like mental strain the next coming weeks with this hidden factor situation. Something fast is going to happen and it's going to really break your heart. You might even be grieving over something. Like you might be feeling very depressed. Something is going to hurt you where it's going to happen really fast. It's going to be very painful and it's going to make you very depressed and stressed out. Might be something that happens at home with family. Like this came out twice in the same position in reverse. So like either the situation that you've been dealing with or maybe the person that has been suffocating you and nagging at you, they're going to do something that might actually break your heart and make you really sad. Be careful with that. Because I do see here with this Queen of Swords and then the Queen of Wands, like I see that you're going to be very cold and you're going to set some clear boundaries with this person because they hurt you. But you're confident. You're confident. You're not showing them that you're sad. You're going to be very direct and cold with this person, but you're going to be very confident in the moment. You're determined to like make things better for yourself though, which I'm glad, because it does seem very like intense with this part, but then this part shows like you got a lot of queen energy. Like, no, I'm not going to take your shit. I'm not going to let you do that with me. Like, you're not going to show that you're hurt and you're sad and all this stuff and you're all this stuff, but like, and you come off very confident and powerful. And you're setting some boundaries here because it's too much. Like, you're done. Some lines have been crossed here. Maybe someone has been doing something behind your back and you're going to find out. And it's going to be so fast that you don't even know how to, like, react. Okay, we got the Hierophant. Hermit in reverse. King of Pentacles upright. Can I get more advice for Virgo, please? Two of Wands. The Lovers. Okay. Two of Swords. I need more cards that want to come out for Virgo. These. Okay. I like how direct but very straight to the point your reading was, Virgo. So I think like with your advice, we do have some cards that are upright. So I'm going to read them up first and then I'm going to collectively read all of them together with my interpretation of the message. So we have the Hierophant upright, which is a loyalty card. It represents an establishment set of spiritual values and beliefs and is often correlated with religion and other formal doctrines. Before you can discover your own belief systems and make your own choices, the Hierophant encourages you to learn fundamental principles from a trusted source. So some keywords here is religion, conforming, and tradition. And then we got the King of Pentacles here, right? So the King of Pentacles is a provider of wisdom, support, and financial stability, who is happy to share his wealth with others. You may be on the verge of completing a major task, project, or business venture. Approach your final task with pragmatism and all thought out planning. And keywords here is stability, power, control, and success. And then we have the Two of Wands here, right? Now the Two of Wands talks about the inner spark of Ace of Wands. You're ready to start putting your ambitions to use. You are taking your ideas and turning them into tangible plans. This is a card of exiting your comfort zone and broadening your horizons. Perhaps with travel, a new career, further education, or even whatever, etc. So keywords is discovery and moving forward and travel. So what's interesting about the Two of Wands, I do think that card came out earlier here. Yes, right here. So it's coming out again. So I think this is like correlating. Then you get the Lover's card, right? Now the Lover's card is signifies a harmonious relationship with a solid foundation and a deep bond. Outside of relationships, the Lovers indicate that an important decision may have to be made. Be clear of your values and belief system and stay true to yourself. So love, harmony, passion, and choices are some keywords here. And then we got the Three of Wands here. Now Three of Wands is also like another Deacon card that can extend into like the end of like the first week of April into the second week of April during that period. And then soon enough, like, well, basically this week into next week, you could say, is like the period of Three of Wands. So it's like halfway point between now and maybe even up to next week that this might occur. So after the planning period of the Two of Wands, it's time to put those plans into action. Open the doors of opportunity to broaden your scope and start thinking long term and be ready to embrace change. So you're preparing with preparation, expansion, and enterprise. And then you have the Five of Cups last as your upright card here, Virgo. It says here you have recently experienced a loss or have had things not going according to plan and are experiencing the resulting grief and feelings of disappointment. You may be having trouble letting go of the past. However, there is still hope. Two of the Cups are still upright. Find it as yourself to forgive and learn from your past, but keep moving forward. So some keywords here is loss, grief, and bereavement. Now I'm going to read all these cards together to like interpret your advice here, Virgo. So let's see. I think like the situation that you've been very loyal to, that's part of this Wheel of Fortune situation. You're gaining more control and power over that situation, right? Lately, it's kind of been chaotic and not really within your control. But I think like when things happen and like it shakes you up a bit, like you're gonna like put your foot down and you're gonna start getting more control over the situation, Virgo. You're gonna also be like moving forward and discovering things about yourself with that Two of Wands, and also planning. So there's gonna be a lot of thought process here where you are gonna be thinking about how you want to go forward with certain things. I do see like there are choices here that you have to be making involving you and this other person that might be involved in this situation. It is a difficult decision, but it's something that you have to make, even if it's painful. There's also this fear of you that with this the Hermit card, and the Hermit card is very strong major arcana card in tarot. It's also a very strong Virgo card. So you're going to be taking a lot of time to think introspectively on how you want to go about things. And you're going to also be very self-reflective during this period. You're also going to be a little fearful about how much you're thinking. Like, am I thinking enough about this? Or am I thinking too much about it? Like, this is something that you're going to also have to weigh out a bit as you, like, take time to think things through. But, you know, it's never, like, wrong to be too careful, you know? Especially if you've gotten hurt. Now, with this Three of Wands coming in, I do see, like, you are going to be making some choices here based on the grief you felt of that hidden factors that this person might do. Like, I think when you get hurt by this situation is when you actually start really making moves for yourself, Virgo. And you're going to be a bit stifled by the circumstances. But, like, the advice here is, you know, take time to think about it. Really self-reflect, and when things happen, determine then how impactful it was. But just know that you are the queen in this situation. You're gonna be very stern, you're gonna be very powerful, but you also have to make some decisions for yourself, and they're gonna be difficult decisions, but it's something that you have to like set your boundary and stick to those boundaries, you know. And just understand, like, you know, when things come to an end, things do begin, but if they don't come to an end completely, other things are not going to be like starting up for you. because then you have to remember this is the Wheel of the Fortune card, you know, in reverse. So it's like, it's going to keep happening until you put your foot down and make that the tough decision. So just hang in there, Virgo, and just understand like this season of Aries is very important, where you need to like make some really important choices that others won't be making for you. All right. Now, I hope that resonates and I hope that helps you. And yeah, that's your reading for the beginning of April, Virgo.